once again, introducing you to my Asura's Wrath hard difficulty video walkthrough. This is episode 4, Old Friends, New Enemies. And after you walk forward, all cool like I just did, you'll be transitioned into your first fight with the Goma. And the Goma are a kind of like mutated version of animals we all know and love. And all you have to do on this moment is to beat these guys up to fill the red bar that you can see at the top of the screen. How Asura's Wrath works is the green bar is my life. If that goes to the end, I will die and have to repeat the section. And everything I do will add points towards the red bar. When I fill the red bar, I press the right trigger and I win. That is literally as mechanically simple as this game gets. However, it is not as boring as that sounds because this game is ridiculous and every single moment you're waiting for that bar to fill and you press that right trigger and something amazing happens. So it's just such a uniquely ridiculous game. And right there was the bar filling apparently, and this is the next part of the encounter, which is a bunch of soldiers show up once you've killed enough of the Goma and you have to fight these. One thing to bear in mind, this guy here with the giant like laser thing, he's pretty dangerous. You want to focus on him first, and a couple of combos in this game that really work well. If you hold the attack button, if you hold B, you will do an uppercut that knocks people into the air. Then if you jump afterwards and hold B, you will do a drop kick, and if you're locked on, it'll come down on them and do massive damage. Obviously link these in with a combination of B presses to do, you know, the best kind of combos, and whenever you see a prompt on the screen to press Y, it is the easiest way to achieve the burst gorge. Like that just then. And a lot of the strategy in this game against an enemy like this one we're fighting, you can actually do things along the lines of just waiting for them, baiting them into an attack that you know you can get the prompt for. One of my big criticisms of this game is because there's no actual way to get those prompts to appear aside from the game to recognise you're in a position where it triggers. There are moments where it should turn up and it doesn't, or it turns up in a microsecond and you miss it because it's too fast for you to react because you're not a computer. And this can lead to errors that are not necessarily your fault, but it's just the way the game is programmed. And one thing to get used to, if you see a guy on the ground, you can generally press Y to do a move. The two instances you've just seen here, I messed it up because I tried to get some cheeky punches in and then press Y. Because an advanced strategy in Asura's Wrath is to beat people up while the prompt is on for as long as physically possible and then press the prompt, because it gives you the maximum benefit. The only problem with this is if your timing's off like mine, you can fuck this up, and no matter how many times you punch a guy, it is nowhere near as beneficial as using those quick time events because they add so much wrath to your wrath bar, essentially. And below that is this crazy like sundial of lights, and if you fill those, it'll tell you to press, I believe, the left trigger. And what this does is, do you see the move I just did then? You'll notice there's a circle around Asura. That is a cooldown meter for my opportunity to use Y again. What Y is your equivalent of a fuck you stun lock move. What it does is it interrupts people. It does a super powerful area of effect attack that is really good at stopping an enemy from hurting you. And a good strategy to get into is to do a combo as soon as you see the enemy try to attack, press Y and it'll stun him almost indefinitely. There might be exclusions to this rule, but it's a good rule to live by. And that the gorge below both the red and the green, when you fill that up, when you press the left trigger, you will have the time it takes for it to, you know, burn out, all the lights to recede back into the centre. You will have unlimited use of the Y button. So what you want to do is you want to spam that unlimited mode to do as much damage as possible. Good ways to build unlimited is obviously successful attacks, successful counters, but also your machine gun arms, because you can fire like Vegeta-esque, you know, rapid fire moves. Kind of like Krillin and Gohan in the Namek saga, where pretty much every situation they got into was with people who were stronger than them, so they just used to blast from a distance, million barrages of energy blasts, and they never won. They just ended up running away, but, you know, it still counts. But that is the end of the mission, guys, and there is an S rank. You can get an S with an SSA. It can be no lower than that. If you get 2 A's, it will not be an S. But thanks for watching, and you take care now.